Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Hands of Steel podcast. I am Marcus, and I'm the gobby one. We also have
Matt, who is also a little bit of a gobby one, but also the fat one.
And I'm Roger, I'm the grumpy one.
The grumpy one?
Yeah, you're right there.
Yep. And tonight we have a special guest with us. I'd like you to take a second, sir, to introduce yourself.
I am Jeremy, along with Roger. We actually created Hands of Steel for everybody to enjoy. Hey!
And welcome, Mr. JT, the boss man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right then, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to have a little natter about, a little chat, a little discussion.
Well, talk about generalness of your collection for a start off, and then hammer some questions out about Hands of Steel that me and Jeremy will try and answer for you.
I think that'd be a
Sounds
great
good.
idea.
Sounds like a lovely plan.
Yes.
Then we'll start with the first question. Jeremy, why
Yes.
don't you own a Warden? Just so
Same
Jeremy
reason
knows, we have a running joke that everyone should own a Warden. Because
Same reason why I don't own a lot of other things. I don't have any fucking money.
you and me
Right.
both, mate. Believe me.
Right, seriously, Jeremy, would a warden appeal to you?
Honestly, no.
Oh. Right, but tell us what you actually think of the figure, seeing the reviews, because you must have seen
No,
the reviews.
I have seen the reviews. It is a well-made figure. It's great. The alt mode's good. I like the head mode there.
We all like head.
Yes, we all like head. Thank you for making that cruel fucking joke. But,
Yeah, but it sucks sometimes, don't it?
literally. But yeah, it's a great figure. I honestly don't have any problems with it, but it's not a prime. So there you go.
But would you like a prime made to that sort of quality?
Indeed, I would. Indeed, I would. If they were to make a prime that quality, I would probably get a small chub for one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'd be on that board as well, to be honest, mate. I'd gladly get a Warden quality prime.
So you haven't got a warden.
I do
What
not have a.
is out of, because obviously you've just let us know you like primes and it's what you collect.
Yes.
So out of all your primes, which is the one you most adore?
Well, the one that has the most sentimental value to me, of course, is my Year of the Horse, Optimus, which I got from you guys. So that one means the most to me, simply because it's from you guys.
Oh,
Well,
even though I didn't.
I've actually got the Year of the Horse myself, and I don't know what the quality of the original MP10 American release was, but I've heard all sorts, like the Matrix doesn't fit in his chest properly, and the little doors don't shut and things like that.
Well,
So,
I don't have the American one, so the MP10 I have is Takara.
So how do you compare him to your Takara?
Honestly, it is a little bit of a weight difference. You can kind of tell that the plastic is a little less.
Do you think there's diecast in Takara?
The Matrix is die-cast, definitely in the Takara version, and I think there's a few other pieces too. I can't get to it right now, but the Matrix is definitely die-cast.
From what I've heard about the MP10, the American and English release, I have got one, but I haven't opened it. But I did open the Year of the Horse one, and I have to say I think it is one of the best figures.
Definitely,
Most playable, really good, well-made figures
it's
I've ever
awesome.
bought from Hasbro.
The only problem with it I had was no spike and roller, but I can do without spike, but it should have came with a roller.
Yeah,
It definitely should have came with a roller.
Should have come with a roller. I agree.
At least.
No,
No clear roller.
Oh, that's a bit of an odd.
there's,
I have
there's
a
actually-
question for you, Jeremy, if you don't mind me asking.
Sure.
Why Optimus Prime? Why is your main collection Optimus Prime? What significance does that have to you?
Excuse me.
First figure I ever had in 1984. And my original one got burned up in a house fire.
Oh,
So after that, I was determined to get another one, and my Prime collection spawned from there. That's
I'll
basically.
say your Prime collection is highly impressive.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yeah.
A work of
Since
art.
I've seen the pictures, I'm very jelly.
My
It's not the best in the world, but I love it.
my original Optimus Prime from back then actually went on to an eBay sale back in 2002, 2003, because I was one of the first ones to list up as a Transformers junkyard because they were all fucking broken from back then.
Wow.
And I think I made about 85 quid, which is about $140 for all these
That's not bad.
junkers, and and they went to Norway.
Norway, all right.
Yeah, so I reckon Stan Grinson's got them. I call him
Good
Stan, but his real name's Stian or something.
John.
Yeah, that's how it's spelled.
Stan. Yeah.
The English equivalent is Stephen,
Is
Stephen.
it?
and the French equivalent is Stefan.
I like calling him Stan. I think Stan's a good name, like Stan Laurel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stan Bush.
Fine mess you
Like
got
to find
yourself
him a
into
Warden.
there, isn't it?
So, how do you want to start these questions then? We've had a little bit of a talk about toys and things.
Yeah, I'm quite intrigued to know where HOS started and why it started and what you two did beforehand. Would you like to tell the viewers? Well,
Go
listeners.
ahead, Raj.
Yeah, you want me to start? Yeah.
Yeah, you can start.
How
this one.
how would you want us to start? Do you want to start how me and Jeremy
How
actually
you two
started
met?
talking?
Yeah, how did you actually meet?
Well, I actually started chatting to Mike before he became a little bit crazy, shall we say, on KO Toys, and we got chatting every day really. And then he was saying to me, "Well, do you want to come and mod KO Toys with me?" And I was just like, "Yeah." He never told me about Jeremy or anybody else who had been on there. He just said, "Yeah, come and help me, and we'll get rid of all the spam and all that stuff." Because at the time, there was knockoff toys everywhere, and Hasbro weren't, or Takara weren't targeting anybody, were they?
No,
So it was free run.
the store was huge.
Yeah, it was a free run, and I remember one day coming home and thinking to myself, "Well, I ordered a parcel about 2 months ago. I wonder where it is." So I sent a message to Jeremy saying, "Oh, I added you as a friend, and you must have thought, who the hell is this?"
At first, yes.
And I told you I was, and I think you went and checked out that I was Red Rock Prime. I had
Yeah.
Prime on the end of my nickname then, didn't I?
You did.
Red Rock Prime from KO Toys. And we just started chatting from there, really. And Jeremy used to tell me about all his different sort of City Commander toys.
Yeah.
You remember
I have a
that?
bunch of City, I did. I have a
He had
bunch
about
of them.
6 or 7 different ones in all the trailers and everything.
Yeah. Got them all from Mike, mostly, too.
Yeah. And when it was coming to the end of the time, and Mike, but very secretive about it, he told me little bits about what was happening, but not everything. And he just said, "Look, I'm shutting down the forum in 2 days' time." To me, I went, "You what?" And I said, "Can't you keep it going? Because there's people here who love chatting and that." And he was like, "No," and we actually said it on there and everything. And he went ahead and he did shut the forum, didn't he?
He shut the forum, and then a few weeks after that, the whole site went down.
That's right. It just and let me calm down a bit because I'm getting excited here. At the time, I was getting into Facebook a little bit, and I noticed that there was groups and things. So I messaged across to you, Jeremy, and said, "How do you feel about opening a group?" And I think you were like, "Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's a good idea. Maybe not. Don't know." And you just said like, "Go for it." And so we come to. I think you heard the story, Marcus. How we actually chose the name. You heard the story.
I was explaining that to Matt earlier this evening.
It was just like I said to Jeremy, "Have you got a coin?" Didn't I? And it was like heads for hands of steel, or tails for was it one shall stand?
Something like that.
Yeah, because we were really into the movie then.
Yeah.
And
You're not now.
yeah, well, yeah, of course we are. Yeah, even more so than we were before, I think. And we went from there, and I think when we first created the group, it's just me and Jeremy, and I just used to put a few news bits in there from Facebook and TFW and that. And as it went on, we were both adding our own friends into the group, so we were getting quite a few people. And this all happened the Christmas before 2 years ago, if I remember right, about 3 days after Christmas.
Something like that. It was between Christmas and New Year.
And at the time, I was getting a couple of deals with a few people on repro labels, which is how Gav come to the group, because I was speaking to him and Azrael in PM, and I was interested in picking up a few animated toys because Jeremy thought the world of them. So I thought, well, maybe I need to have a look at these and see what I think. So my collection went from G1 to animated. And Masterpiece at the time, because I had a few bits and bobs. Well, you remember my collection back then, don't you?
Yeah.
And as we started to add people, Hands of Steel just sort of started
expanded, and we added subgroups, and the rest is history.
Yeah, why did we add subgroups? Because everybody wanted to do sales in Hands of Steel, and it was
that's a good question actually. Why have you divided Hands of Steel into so many subgroups?
I'll answer that one. It's like Roger said. We were posting news in there, and everybody would be bumping their sales threads, and all the news would go to the bottom, and you'd have to scroll all the way to the bottom, and people's comments were getting, where they couldn't see their comments and anything else. So we couldn't have them all in the same group and get anything accomplished. Either the news was overriding the sales, or the sales was overriding the news. It just depended on what day it was. So we had to at least make a separate sales group.
It was a bit of a mess, basically, before you added that.
Yes, it was a horrendous mess.
And we was
that having the so many subgroups that you have now, you have literally what I would personally say the perfect balance.
Definitely, it's
got
worked out nicely.
That cover everything.
It's good because you can still post into a couple of the groups, and everybody will still comment in both groups.
Yes,
like if you post up something that's interesting to buy, you don't have to just post it into the sales group. You can post it onto the main group because it's a general buy and not specifically at one person.
Yeah, but like the one person, like if you can't post like I have this Bumblebee for sale in the main group, because anybody that jumps on it is going to knock all the news and everybody else's picture posts down. So
you got to say
it doesn't work that way.
You got to say like, oh, I've just put something in her sales group. Go take a look, basically.
You can do that, yeah, but if you're a member of the sales group, you'll see it anyway. So
some people don't know. That's the problem.
Oh, do you want us to talk about the actual different groups?
Actually, that would be nice. I think those that are listening would like to know what the groups are. Why is it subgroups, and what those subgroups are, and what they entail.
Okay.
Well, I think we got the main group, which is, like Jeremy said, is all the news, and you post your collections and photos that interest you and things.
Oh, not forget the haul pictures. Those are your prides and joys. Everybody enjoys seeing what new toys other people have got.
Definitely. And then we have the other stuff group, which...
The other stuff came along next, yeah.
Yeah, the other stuff came along next because...
the booby group.
The booby group,
yes.
Anything that is...
Tasteful.
Not Transformer related and 18 and up stuff will go in that group.
It is 18 and up with taste, though, isn't it? It's not specifically get your fucking baps out and show them around for everybody, is it?
And you have to do the actions, don't you, Roger?
It is tasteful.
Oh, yeah, because I've got baps.
Tasteful. No, donkey porn or anything like that. So
full-on sexual.
I'd have to disagree with the tastefulness, because I actually saw somebody post Power Ranger stuff in there once, and well, yeah, we'll leave that one.
See, that should go. That should. Yeah.
But from the other stuff came the media group, which didn't used to get used that much when it first came along, but it was just no, we're going to try and put video reviews, and since the other stuff has evolved a bit, or everybody's other toys that they collect, like you said, Power Rangers, I don't know, Ghostbusters, Batman, yeah,
Macross, Robotech, anything robot orientated,
anything that's not Transformers.
Yeah, it goes into that group really, and I'll have to say over the last year that group really has taken off more than it did. It took a good 6 months to get it going, but people started to realise that there was a difference between the other stuff and that group. And then obviously there's the sales group that came along. That was that our third group after the other stuff before media.
Yes, that was the third group was sales.
The sales group. As soon as it started up and everybody realised that, hey, this is a friend of mine and they're looking after me, then it just evolved. The sales group's gone mad. It still is now,
It's still going pretty strong. I mean, people have made quite a bit of money in the sales group. Too bad we don't get a percentage. But
But
yeah, it's
it's amazing how the toys have travelled around the world. To be honest,
definitely. I have sent more
Or you've ended
toys.
up with your own toys back to you after it's gone through about 6 or 7 different people's hands.
Now, that's true. I have ended up with the same figure back after it's been sold 2 or 3 times.
I ended up with Jeremy's Blesser, which took quite a while to get, but eventually that made its way to me. Which I've been after.
Yep.
Which I was after that for 3 years off you, wasn't
It took him 3 years to talk me into selling it.
I? It went to Alan Fibberdibberder,
Dibba 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 do.
and then Alan
Which is-
messaged me to say, "Can I have some Doctor Who stuff off you?" And that's how it come to me.
Yeah.
But
And
I think,
I brought James in, Jimmy Blanco.
the ninja consultants.
Yep.
Yes.
There is a group that you haven't mentioned, actually. In fact, I believe there's 3. One,
Yes,
the
the
customs group.
I haven't quite got that far, but that's relatively the newest group.
And it's had its ups and downs.
Yes, it has. Yeah, it was a different customs group with a joint sort of status with Hand Steel at first, but now Hand Steel has its own customs group. I'm not going to go on to that story because it's just shit. I'll just say we've got our own customs group now specifically for Hand Steel, which will remain as Hands of Steel's.
Yes.
And I have to say, I'm amazed at some of the beautiful costumes that a lot of the members of Hands of Steel post in there. They are truly amazing.
Yeah, they are.
Very talented people.
I actually have a couple of the customs that were shown in there that I bought. I bought one off Luke, and I bought one off Jimmy.
Jimmy's customs are something else. They are totally out of this world.
I got one of Jimmy's Star Sabers that he did.
Ooh, I wanted one of them.
And then, of course,
nearly a year ago, a certain gentleman that we're talking to at the moment got a black Zarek off the legendary ninja himself.
yes, he
For
did.
a certain birthday present, I do believe.
That was amazing. I wasn't expecting that, and it came in a great big box. Thinking, what the hell is this?
We're glad you like it.
And it said from Jimmy. Well, it said from James White. That's his real name.
Yes.
It said on the bottom of the box. So I questioned. I said, "What's this?" Thinking, "What have you sent me?" And he said, "Oh, it's your birthday present." And I was just like, "Well, my birthday's not for a couple of days." He goes, "No, open it now. Everybody will want you to open it now." So I did, and I reviewed it and put pictures up and the album up and everything like that on HOS. And to this day, I'm still absolutely amazed that everybody did it for me.
It
Thank
was
you.
a good thing. I put it on the body.
Thank you. I can't believe you done it for me. I was just so amazing. It stands up there next to Fortress Maximus upstairs in the bedroom. I've got Scorpy, I've got Fortress Maximus, I've got Black Zarek that was made for me. I've got I know Fortress Maximus with the Warden head next to it,
Nice.
and Overlord and Metroplex next to him both look small. So
Yeah.
they're up on the shelf. So I've got some really nice gigantic figures.
I don't have many gigantic figures. I have Unicron and Primus, and that's about it.
Same here, mate. To be honest, I've got Unicron, and that's all really.
I love
Most of my collection is gigantic figures. I like big butts, and I'm not going to carry on singing. This is not a karaoke.
And I cannot lie.
Well, we can make it karaoke if you want.
I like big butts, and I cannot lie. Come on, then.
Okay, that's enough.
No, I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna dance.
So that is basically how House of Steel came about and the different groups. It's only secret because we want to have me and Jeremy want to have the last say about who actually comes to the group. Because if either of us accept it, then they're obviously an okay person,
We want
We don't want
quality, not quantity.
That's it. We want quality.
There is
quality,
two
not quantity.
subgroups you haven't mentioned. One being very, very important.
The
and
admin
the other
group.
one to do with you, Roger.
We have the
pre-orders,
admin group.
if I may ask.
That's just a special group for. Well, the admin group came because somebody was adding quite a lot of admins. Oh, he's a good person. Let's add him. And we got to one point where we had like about 30 people and about 12 admins. So it was sort of catching up, and before Jeremy just turned around and said, "Whoa, slow down! You're getting too many admins." But thankfully now we're at about 150, 160 people in the group. And
there's actually, if Roger doesn't mind me saying, another group that nobody knows about except for me and Roger. And that is the HOS Owners Box.
Right,
and
the Owners Box,
there's nobody in there except for me and him.
That's where you talk about your admins behind their back then, I believe.
That Marcus Butler.
The secrets are coming out now.
It hasn't been used for about a year, has it, really?
No, we haven't posted in there for like 6 months.
Because
so.
we decided that when we were chatting in PM, it would be as friends, and if we were going to try and talk admin stuff, it was going to be in the owners group. But, you know...
Like if we needed to remove an admin or something like that, we can't very well post in the admin section and get everybody's opinion on removing that admin because that admin would see it. So we have that's basically just for me and Raj to decide who we're going to make admin, whether or not we need to remove an admin or stuff like that. That's pretty much it.
May I ask a question concerning your admins for HOS?
Of course.
Do you find that you've chose the right people to do the right jobs? And do you believe that they help run HOS in a relaxed and a wonderfully family-orientated group?
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, right now, yes, I say we're doing great. The admins are doing a great job. Of course, they catch a lot of stuff that Roger and I can't because we can't be there, 24 hours a day, especially me. In the past, we have made a few mistakes on who we chose. What the hell are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry, the dog's gone mad, so I took my headset off to see what was happening outside.
Okay, anyway. But yeah, in the past, we have made some poor judgment calls on who we made admins and had to remove them. But as of right now, we couldn't ask for a better group of people to do what they do.
That's good to know that Hands of Steel is taken care of and all the patrons in there are looked after well.
They definitely are.
So where do you see Hands of Steel going from now? We've already established it's quite a successful group and all the people that are members are very, very happy, and it's like was stated yesterday, it's a family. But where do you see the future of Hands of Steel?
Raj, you want to take this one?
Where do I see the future? Well, I think we are starting to change direction. I think we're looking more into the podcast and things which we're doing ourselves, which aren't directly associated to Hands of Steel, except for this one, which will be. Sorry if it sounds a bit tongue-tied and all that, but I see the future is the group will still be there, whether it be on Facebook or not is. Could be anywhere because the way Facebook's going, it's going to be chock full of adverts within the next year.
Yes.
I don't like the new format of Facebook, but we need something that runs like it, where we can post the news that's still on the same thing straight to our groups. So,
well, if it's not going to be on Facebook, there'll be another social media outlet we can use, or we can go back to using forums.
Yeah.
At first it was MySpace, and then Facebook came along, and there'll be something else after Facebook. So.
We do actually have the forum still.
We do. It
doesn't get used very often, but it's still there.
Well, as long as there's Facebook, we don't really need the forums. So
yeah, well, we did try to go back to a forum, but we had too many people saying they liked Facebook, so we kept it for convenience, really.
Yeah,
it's
a lot of people have said that Facebook is more convenient. You pick your phone up, you're instantly on Facebook, and you can see all the posts that you need that are relevant to you.
Exactly.
Much easier.
Definitely.
But for the future, like I said, I think Hands of Steel will keep going in some capacity because we get fresh members all the time. The old members sometimes disappear and come back. You won't hear them say anything for a month, then they'll be back a month later and they don't shut up for 6 months. So,
that's sounding condescending, but a lot of people would listen to what we're talking about, a Facebook group, etc. And yeah, to some people in some social aspects, it's a bit sad. It's a bit nerdy and geeky.
I think
The point is, we do meet in the real world.
Yes.
Physically, we actually see each other as friends in the real world. So it's not just a sad internet friendship thing.
Well, you guys are more my
Right.
friends than real life people that I have around me because I don't
will
feel like I can, talk to them and express my opinions and everything like that. But when I come here and talk to you guys, whether it be typing or talking or anything, I'm just comfortable. I mean, it's just like a click. I can talk to you
You're
guys about
comfortable
whatever I
talking
want.
about everything in your life to certain people that
Definitely.
that you classify as very close friends, almost family on HOS.
Well, there's no almost to it. It's full blown family. There may not be blood running the same blood running through our veins, but it is family. It's the definition
I'm
of
going to
family.
agree there. I think the same oil runs through all our veins. And I think you'll understand what I mean by that.
I do.
I was going to say something. I've just completely forgotten what I was thinking because my dog actually stinks. Like, well, fucking hell, dog, you stink.
I thought Roger was tearing up there for a minute.
These podcasts do have an 18 advisory, so you are allowed to just be natural and swear if you want to swear. So you can say, "Oh fuck, cunty bollocks," and we're all right.
Hey, watch your language, young man.
Not that you would say it, but you sound like Az then, Jamie.
Yes, someone's got a potty mouth, but you see, I don't normally fucking swear because I don't believe in cunting, bastard, fucking wanking, bollocks, fucking motherfucking swearing. It's rude. And I
It
think
fucking
you
damn
as
sure
well.
is rude. You should never fucking cuss.
I don't fucking swear. I really don't. I'm polite. I always say please and thank you before I beat the shit out of somebody.
So,
do.
I hope Matt has that little
and
sensor
beat him
beat.
with it because wow, that's a weapon.
did I answer your question? Yes, I still think Hans Steel will be here in a few years' time in some capacity. I hope that eventually we will do some sort of convention, even if it's just a meet up at somebody's house and Jeremy's flown all the way over here so we can all meet at my house, or we've all made the effort to go over there and see Jeremy or something like that,
I would like to be part of that.
I'd
100%.
Gladly be a part of that.
Whether or not it would be at Jeremy's house, because we might just have to organise some sort of campsite and go get a campground, have a major get majorly smashed. You know what I mean?
Sounds good to me.
Oh,
With no kids and anything around.
I hope Matt has the little censor beat button so he can edit all the cuss words out.
I'll tell you what though. One thing about Hands of Steel is that when it comes to Transformers, a lot of people associate it with being very, very geeky and nerdy. And from my point of view, Hands of Steel is very adult.
Yes.
yeah.
And people
Yeah,
from very
serious.
different walks of life.
So all my
Yeah.
friends just see Transformers just as a kid's toy and don't really see anything else past that point, which is a bit of a shame.
I know a lot of close people to me think like that.
But the
Whereas
toys have only just brought us together. It's just a common interest. To be honest, I think it's gone beyond that now. It's not
It
just
has.
sitting down talking about the new Optimus Prime or a new Hasbro release. It's gone beyond that.
Yeah, definitely.
It's gone to
Definitely.
the point of how's your children, or what are you up to today? Was work any good, or why are you pissed off?
Yeah, it
You
helps
know,
me.
it's about friendship.
It's just like coming home and calling your best friend on the phone after a hard day at work. I mean, it's
Pretty much what we're doing right at the moment.
what we're doing right now, essentially.
Yes.
and Roger's making out with his dog.
Again.
Yeah. Roger made him fart. Nice.
you don't need my help for
He
that.
doesn't start sniffing the dog's butt. All right.
Not on camera, not on the podcast.
No, not on the podcast, mate. Not a good idea.
Shall we move on to the next question? Have you got another question?
I haven't at the moment. I think Matt should start speaking a bit because he's been sitting there all quiet.
Yeah, whenever it gets to the point where I think, I might ask a question, Marcus goes and answers it for me. He's like, oh,
I'm sorry, I'm a presumptive person.
no, I'm not blaming you at all. Asshat.
No social questions about how our other halves feel about collections or anything like that.
Oh, that's quite controversial, and I think would be very interesting,
I was
actually.
gonna say, with obviously you've both got wives, you've both got children. How do they see your hobby towards Transformers and the Transformers community that you spend time with? How do they perceive it?
Well, I know Marcus and Roger know my wife hates it with a passion. Of course, we made a deal on how I get to collect now and stuff like that, and I'm okay with it. My son, however, is a huge, huge Transformers nut, just like me. So we get along fine about it. Wife hates it. That's 100% the way it is.
I remember meeting your son on here the other night when he was playing Guess the Transformer. That was the cutest
That was fun.
thing I've ever seen. It was brilliant. He was
Impressive.
fantastic. He was great. He was honestly.
He's good at what he does.
You raised him well.
Thank you. I try. Wife hates that too.
So do
But
I.
you must be doing something good. If your wife disagrees with something, it means that you're doing the right thing.
Does your wife think, Jeremy? Does your wife think that we are just people off Facebook and not your actual friends? Is that how she looks at it?
She has looked at it that way before, but I have changed her mind on that. So she doesn't think that way anymore, but she still hates the plastic.
Yeah. Does she realise that you're a part of something special which you don't want to give up?
She doesn't really understand it because she's not in the world that we are. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's like more practical and anal and stuff like that. But not to say that's a bad thing. It has its own merit to be like that. She manages her money and manages our money, and I'd pretty much be lost without her doing that because I'm terrible at finances.
Does
But
she actually collect anything herself?
she used to collect dolphins and teddy bears, and the rest of the house is full of it.
Could she understand if there was a special group which was about dolphins and teddy bears and it ended up something similar to Hands of Steel? Could she understand that sort of thing?
No, because she would never do anything like that.
Because she's never experienced it.
She's never experienced it and will not try it. She's just not that type of person.
So
What if I actually make an example? Isn't this quite like what church does? Some people go to church because they have a belief in something, but the church principle is to bring people together as a community. Isn't that a very similar thing? that
It could
we
be
have
construed
here?
as that.
I'm not
yes.
saying that we have a church. I'm saying we have a community that are brought together by a common goal.
What religion are you? I'm Hands of Steel.
My religion. Oh, that's a tough one because I would say Christian, but more scientific point. I crossed the bridge between science and religion. I've actually found a balance between the two, and that's how I believe myself, and that helps with my collection too, and my
Fair
life.
enough.
No, with me, I was christened, but
Hey.
I'm not Christian. I'm not religious. I don't believe
Hey, dog.
in God.
But everyone knows that Rita's a devout Catholic, and my son's brought up as a Catholic, and I will teach them that way because everyone knows that I know my stuff about religion. What I see is everyone should be individual. Their beliefs are personal to themselves.
Holy shit.
Well done, Roger.
You surely want the dog, wasn't it?
Great, we've had our first mishap.
Am I supposed to answer this marriage question thing?
No.
No. All right, then I won't answer it then.
No more religious talk.
Religion and politics should never really come into a conversation between friends. It
Nope.
can disrupt things very badly.
Follow your own. I'll just say follow your own path.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yeah, if it makes you happy, why not?
We all shall be one with the Matrix, but Prime.
One shall stand and one shall fall over because they've drunk too much. Yes,
No
that's the
shit.
religion.
Oh, come on now. That ain't even
All right.
Anything else you want to ask? Anything a bit more of a personal nature? Like, do we still get it? You know what I mean?
Actually, that's a bloody good question, actually. No. On a serious note, this is a good question. It's valid. Even though you act as a child, because you play with toys, and you have those moments where you are a child, do you still adapt to being an adult and deal with your responsibilities with an adult mind? I wasn't being rude, trust me.
Yes,
Well, can you be an adult and still be childish?
definitely. You can always be a kid at heart.
Yeah.
I mean, there's,
Yes.
but I know when to be serious and know when I have to put on a straight face and, take care of responsibilities. And yes, I do still get laid, for those of you that want to know.
Wait a minute, you're married, aren't you, Jeremy?
Yes.
And you get laid?
Yes.
Damn. That's a rarity from what most of the people that I know on a personal level that are married, their wives are like, how do I put this? They're like the
Frigid.
law unto themselves, and they only get some if they don't buy Transformers.
No. Hasn't got that bad yet.
I'm never marrying my girlfriend if that's the case.
Jeremy, you've just got a hot tub, so you're creating the atmosphere.
Uh-huh.
I know that Roger doesn't get any because Katie has him. He can't say no to her.
Can't say no to her, no.
No, she's a good woman, your Katie, mate. Really is.
She's awesome,
Yep.
yeah, she is. She hates the collection sometimes, and my camera's froze.
Yes, it is.
I put it
Hell of a look there, too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Looks like someone put something up your backside.
We did actually have a heart to heart about it a couple of years back when Hans Steel first came along. Actually, I think I spoke to Jeremy about,
Yes, you did.
and we come to the conclusion because I was buying quite a lot back then, just spending anything really. We come to the conclusion that I could still have my collection and I could still get new stuff as long as what I was buying did not come out of the money I earned, but from what I already had that I could sell. So my collection is funded purely by everything that I sell, that I own myself, and not out of my wages, like I said, from work.
You appreciate
Sum
it
it
more
up,
that
your
way, too.
collection pays for itself.
Yeah, basically. So when I chop and change, I try and chop and change a lot to get a bit of money in to buy a few figures from that line if I can. But you guys know yourself, I haven't had a proper haul myself in months. My haul's coming next week from Jimmy,
Yay!
Yeah.
and it's actually a Creon haul for the most part.
That's good.
Because I'm Creon mad, not Creo. I like the Creons, so I'm quite Creon mad.
I couldn't get into those.
Like Rita, she likes her crayons.
I do as well. I think there's something magical about them.
I'm going to have to honestly say how lucky I am because Rita really appreciates my collection. In fact, she helps with it. She
You are very
enjoys
lucky.
it. It's not her forte. Her forte is Doctor Who. She loves Doctor Who. That's her big thing. But she does enjoy playing with the Transformers, having a Transformer evening, and, well, technically, respecting my collection because it's part of who I am.
So
It's part of me. It makes who I am. The interest I've got and the passion, it overflows from my interest in the robots and the Transformers and the story and all the canon that goes with it into my normal everyday life, which makes me the person I am.
I have a question for Jeremy.
Okay.
Is there anything that you collect yourself which you haven't told us about that is nothing to do with Transformers?
I do have a very avid Star Wars collection.
Ah.
like Star Wars.
It is at my grandmother's house. It's not here. A few pieces are here, but 95% of it is at my grandmother's. It has Star Wars Legos, Kotobukiya statues, Unleashed figures, regular 6-inch figures, 3.5-inch. It's vehicles. There's boxes of it. So yes, I have a Star Wars collection as well.
What about you, Roger? Same question.
It's weird for me because I do have all sorts of computer games from all different systems, which I still have, which I wouldn't dream of getting rid of. I have quite a comic collection because that is mainly Transformers now, but I used to collect all sorts from like Roy of the Rovers to used to collect Beano, Dandy, all that sort of stuff years ago. But mostly for me, it's sort of more collecting sci-fi sort of DVDs and Blu-rays, because I love the Star Treks and Farscape and all that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I never really go on about it. But it's just something I enjoy watching. But it's different to Transformers because I enjoy watching that. I don't actually collect all the memorabilia from it. Whereas from Transformers, I'll collect everything. Do you know what I mean?
Then that would second the question for everybody. Why Transformers? Why do you collect Transformers?
Because it was my favourite toy from my childhood. I read the comic and I lived it, and I still do.
Same here. That's just what I grew up on.
What about you, Matthew?
All right. For me, when I was a child, Beast Wars was what got me into Transformers. Because Generation 1 was before my age. But just seeing the fascination of just animals transforming into robots, I just really liked the idea. And I had to buy like all of them as a kid. Pestered mum and dad. But get me. I want this one, I want that one. Got them all.
We all did.
But as I started growing up and ended up becoming a collector, even when I was a kid, I would just look at the transformation for it and just see it as... Well, I know this may seem a bit weird to you guys, but I see it as a piece of art unfolding before me as I transform the figure. Like, I don't know, back with Beast Wars, the Tyrannosaurus Megatron, just watching it unfold and turn into a robot, I thought it just looked like beautiful to me. I was like, oh...
I will agree. I actually agree there. They are pieces of engineering art.
They are, yeah, engineering art indeed. But then, and as
Geniuses.
time has progressed, its engineering's just got more advanced, and Fans Project is a clear example of this with the engineering they do on their toys. It's unbelievable, even though it can be quite complex. But still,
I'll even give Hasbro and Takara props. I mean, look at Revenge of the Fallen Leader Prime. Look how much.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Yes.
Look how much went into that.
I hate movie toys normally, but that Prime and the Starscream, the leader Starscream, I cannot fault that.
They're amazing works of art.
I completely agree. When the first movie Leader Optimus came out, showed it to my friends, and they all thought it was a pretty cool toy. Looked at it all, and was like, I really like it. But I did think it looked a bit tubby for me.
It does. It's not near as good.
It still looked okay, back then.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden the old pictures came out for Revenge of the Fallen's version. I just did a look at the picture that looked at me up movie 1 Optimus. Just looked back and forth and thought, movie Optimus looks like a piece of shit. It's like, right, I want the Revenge of the Fallen one, and my god, even today, I transferred it for
He's insane.
In years, and I amazingly could do it without the instructions, but it's unbelievable how it all fits and folds together.
It's insane.
You guys mind if I ask a very silly question? Well, to me, it may sound silly, but it's actually quite serious.
Okay.
When it comes to the Transformers toys, characters, etc., is there any toy in your collection that you would literally pick up, look at, and would have a severe emotional response from yourself and just holding it? I'll give you a small example. What got me back into collecting Transformers years ago, because I used to collect Zoids, and I'd build those with my other children who I no longer see. But before all the mess and the divorce got into it, my children bought me MP01. To me, that was the epitome of every Prime. Every time I pick that up, I can't take it out of the box without, well, I'm going to be honest, I cry. It has such an emotional value to me. Not just because my kids bought it, because the character Prime from back when I was a child literally had an impact on me. He was a wise person. He always said the right things, and he never fought. He never really fought as such. He would always give people a chance. Does that make sense? So the character of Prime from G1 mixed with this ultimate toy from my children has great emotional value to me, and that is one toy that would never leave my possession no matter what. And that's the example I'm going to give forward. Does anybody else share some form of value similar?
All right, I'll give my 2 cents. For me, my one, I suppose, for Transformers would be the my Transmetal 2 Dragon Megatron. A couple of reasons why it had sentimental value was the main reason being actually that when I wanted this thing so badly, looking for it for years, just couldn't find it, nothing like that, until my unbelievably my uncle actually had an eBay account. This is when eBay was just starting out, and I never even heard of the site. And he talked about saying that he's got an eBay account, and would you like me to search for it? And I told him what to search for. He's had a look. He said he's found one, and he sent me some pictures over email saying like, what it'll look like. And I said, yeah, it looks pretty legit to me. Is it okay if you could buy it, and I'll give you the money? And he went, no, you don't have to give me the money, you know, it's you're my nephew, it's all cool, I'll get it for you. I was like, oh, sweet, okay. So he's actually...
It's nice of him.
He bought it, and... Oh, hold on, so you disappearing. Oh, so I thought Jeremy was going. No, after getting hold of it finally, took a couple of weeks to come from America. My uncle actually passed away, like a week later. Just randomly, just heart attack, which was a bit of a low blow for me, because he was a really great man. He was just overall great. Even when I was a little kid, like he was one of those uncles that would be like pick you up, throw you around the room, just for have a little bit of a play fight with you. He's one of those sort of like relatives that he would just gladly put aside the time to have fun and play with you. And when he got me that toy, and when he passed away, I was just so heartbroken over it that when I looked at the Megatron in the box, I just couldn't really feel... I felt like... I don't know why, I felt bad wanting to open it. Even though I was a little kid at the time, must have been about 11 or 12, I just didn't want to open this box, because I would have felt that if I did, I'd like... I felt that I was like disgracing his memory of when he bought me this thing. And I thought to myself, it took me about a year to get over that fact, until I realised I think maybe actually playing with it is what would actually make me remember him from when we were a kid. So I opened it up, slid it out, had a look, and actually had a good play with it. And for the past, I think it's about 10, 12 years now. Yeah, 12 years now. It's been sitting on the top of my shelving unit in Dragon mode. So whenever I come into my room, it's just literally when I open my bedroom door, it's just like hanging up top there. And I just look at it and just think of my uncle. Pretty much.
That's awesome.
That's the main reason why I'd say the Transmetal Megatron, Transmetal 2 Megatron is one that holds a special place in my heart. I'll never get rid of that thing. That, and it's a bloody awesome toy.
Absolutely.
So
what about you, Jeremy?
I don't really have a story like that. I guess getting my second G1 Prime would be mine, because, you know, it reminded me of the first Transformer I ever had that got burned up, and it's what started me collecting again, was getting that Prime. And I mean, it's a boring story, but that's basically it.
Not a boring story, my friend. It really isn't.
Boring? No.
But it took a while to get one complete that I could afford, you know, so.
When it comes to sentiment, nothing is boring. It's special.
Yeah, it holds a special place in your heart, and we're not going to ridicule that.
What about you, Roger? Do you have a similar story of sorts?
I think. Oh,
He gets attacked by his dog.
I think. Let's see. I didn't have much money as a kid. I still haven't really now, but my family couldn't afford much. So for me to get a transformer would be like for birthdays or for Christmas or something special, you know. So for me, I grew up mainly with my G1 comic collection and watching the cartoons on the telly every now and then. And because I always enjoyed robots and space things, that was the pinnacle of robots and space things, wasn't it? Transformers coming to Earth in disguise, you know.
It's a really cool looking sports car.
Yeah,
That turns into a robot that can kick ass.
very. They had morals, feelings, and morals. So there was always a story to everything.
Do you believe they taught you anything?
I think it was people trying to show how they believed that you should how you should treat people and everything. I think that has had an effect on me.
Yes.
Because when I meet a lot of people out there, people just aren't the same as a general Transformer fan. Do you know what I mean? There's like, it's weird. There's like a divide between normal people and being what sort of Transformers geeks, should we say?
Geek, nerd, doesn't matter
Geek,
what you
nerd,
label us. We're
yeah.
just fans.
And I think it can be a very big difference sometimes because for me, I've got morals, and a lot of people I meet, especially in Grimsby, just haven't. They just couldn't give a damn about anything. Do you know what I mean?
Same
And
here.
I
Are you
do.
roughly saying that all the morals that you've been imposed upon you, you've learned all the good ones from a cartoon series and a comic and a toy line?
And my family who try to, I try and be a certain way, and they try and support me being that way, you know. And I'd always get comments like, "There's no one quite like you," and things like that. And I'd say until about 6 months ago, I'd never really thought about it, and I do now. And I think, well, yeah, you know, you just got to try and treat people right, and you'll get treated right yourself.
It definitely helped growing up to have things like that to, not only your family, but you have this series that reinforces what your family's trying to instill in you, and
A good moral code.
to see your heroes there, like Prime and all them on this cartoon, instilling those values in you. That kind of helps your family to teach you how to be towards people, because you look up to these people, and they're teaching you to, please and thank you and yes sir and no sir and be kind to this person no matter their financial status, and stuff like that.
Help people, and
Yeah, definitely, it helps.
I'm totally agreeing there. I can't find any falter in any of your logic. I really can't. But like Optimus Prime himself, he was the epitome of morality to me. He was a leader.
Yeah.
He led by example, and that's something that I instill upon my children.
he was the
I look
leader,
at my
wasn't he?
son. I believe that I should not tell him to do something without being able to do it myself, so he can see me do it. If I tell him clean your teeth, he'll clean his teeth while I'm cleaning mine, so he sees me doing it, leading by example. And that's one of the small values that a bloody cartoon series, a comic book, and a toy line has taught me. It's stuck in my head.
Well, I know they brought him back from the dead later in the cartoon, but in the end, Optimus Prime, being the way he is, cost him his life.
Yeah,
He
was
believed
prepared to give his life.
He
Yes.
believed so strongly in his morals and the way he was that he died for it. So
Oh,
think about that for a minute.
on that subject, Jeremy, and guys, don't be embarrassed of this because I'm going to admit to it. Did you cry at the movie, the 1986 G1 movie, when Prime died? Who actually cried?
Yes, sir. I did.
I'll put my hand up. I was a 16-year-old young man, and I cried in the cinema.
I didn't actually watch the movie until about a year after it was released. There was no cinema where I lived. The only way I could find out anything about it was I had a friend who had got some comics from America, and he actually got the 1986
Yes.
1986 4-issue miniseries, which he kindly lent to me.
The movie adaptation.
That's right, and it's a little
Is that
bit
the one with the silly-looking Magnus on the front? It
Yeah.
doesn't look like
and
Magnus.
Grimlock actually gets taken prisoner with Cap and Hot Rod, and it doesn't happen in the movie
No.
if you read it. And when I read it, I was just like, "Huh? What's going on?" Do you know what I mean? So when I actually watched the movie, I actually knew it was going to happen. So I was still like, but I wasn't crying. I was just big sad face. Do you know?
I was 9 years old and I squalled my eyes out. I'm not going to lie about it.
I was 16 and I really cried. I'd never cried like that in my life, ever.
Right. Well, my story's a little bit different. The film, the '86 movie, was the first piece of Generation 1 media I ever saw, and I was only 19 back at the time. When I grew up with Transformers, it was Beast Wars, and I sort of watched a couple of the other series afterwards. I found them all pretty horrific until animated came along, but I never watched the original show. I just saw the cartoon film on TV and thought, oh, there's a film. Okay, just like sort of turned it over to watch it. Even though it is a bit of a glorified toy commercial, I still thought it was a fun, cheesy movie to watch. And I will admit, when Optimus was on the deathbed, as soon as you hear Perceptor say, "I fear the wounds are fatal," I thought, oh, right. Oh, and I did feel a little bit down inside. I was like, oh, Optimus kicked the bucket. Oh, that's a bit of a downer, isn't it? Bloody hell. It doesn't even give you time to grieve, but then again, Optimus even himself says, "Do not grieve." But then, because like the next scene, if I'm not mistaken, is Megatron floating through space before Unicron finds him. It's like,
And said, "I summoned you here for a purchase."
Summoned you here.
I summoned you here for a purchase.
Megatron!
Rogertron.
Matt, as a young man that's associated with more G1 orientated aged people,
Bed.
would you say that people like Jeremy, myself, and Roger, we quote the '86 movie on a daily basis?
In all honesty, after meeting you, Marcus, and Roger a little bit more than Jeremy, I can see you two doing that like pretty much daily. I can see you two just daily on your every day to day basis, just doing something as simple as putting clothes in the washing machine. You'd be like, just say something like, "You're bloody old punk, I'll straight you up yet." Just like some random.
Actually, I do housework to the touch. I play the touch and instruments of destruction to do my housework too.
So as the touch is going on in your head, you're just thinking of either the fight between Optimus and Megatron, or when Rodimus says Optimus opens the Matrix and just
Arise, Rodimus Prime. Yeah, and now I've got goosebumps. Okay.
Sorry guys, dogs are fighting, so I've had to keep popping off on and off.
That's alright, mate, don't worry. But no, yeah, I can honestly see you two.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
Why for?
You without mercy, now ask for mercy. I thought you were made of sterner stuff, Decepticon.
No, Megatron! No, Hot Rod, get out the fucking way!
If anybody dare say, "Friend's fine, look behind," I'm going to slap you.
I think it's brilliant that when they re-released the animated movie, there's the one swear line.
Oh shit! What are we going to do now?
Yeah, they've got to take out it. He goes, instead of saying what are we going to do now, like it was the original cinema release, and it's like, oh shit, what are we going to do now? And then you
don't forget Magnus. Open, damn it, open.
I don't think that's
he cusses there too.
Damn it, isn't that bad in England, to be honest.
That's a cultural thing, I do believe.
That is more of a cultural thing, though. With
here it's just as bad.
Well, when you hear it from us, you've got to realise that it's not any intent. It's just general way of speaking, you know.
I mean, like in Canada, they tell each other to piss off, and apparently that's not considered rude.
Yeah, but kids at school in England, they can
It would
say
give
the
you a
word
gold
piss
shower.
and it's not a swear word. Now, 20 years ago, if I said bloody hell, I'd get a slap round the head.
And a ruler to the knuckle.
Different, and I was a 20-year-old man then.
Oh,
it was looked down upon to say swear words, but obviously nowadays they're so fluent and everyone uses them, they've lost their context.
Yeah.
Even I love you's lost context nowadays.
Yeah,
Those
people
are the
just say it for no
three
reason.
words that everybody says and they don't really, really, really mean.
Most people say it just to get laid.
Yeah.
Horrific.
Or just slapping your dick round the face usually can help and all, but, you know.
Isn't it the same thing, Mark?
Pretty much. I found that throughout my life, you'd never ever have to chat a woman up. I find talking to them as a person has always worked.
Definitely. Works a
fine.
lot better.
A woman is basically a friend with bigger assets. It works for me.
When I was young, I was terrified to talk to women until all of a sudden, just one day, plucked up the courage to just talk to a girl that I've liked for a good 2 years. Just talk to her normally, properly, for the first time in ages. And after about a 2-hour conversation, she said, "Do you want to be my boyfriend?" The face just go.
Oh.
My face was like, "What?" I'm sorry, what? Dear.
I bet he was well pleased as well.
Of course I was. She was the only girl I really liked. Oh, and FYI, it didn't work. It didn't last that long. No. I'm with Amy now, and I'm happy. Got ash all over the bloody keyboard.
But Amy's a good woman. You two make a nice couple.
Oh, thank you, Marcus. Now, when you were talking about earlier on with the concept of what do your partners think about your what's the word? Like your hobby.
For a man that plays with plastic toys that are designed for children.
Yeah, pretty much. Amy honestly doesn't have a problem with it. She came over the first time, saw them all on the shelves and stuff, and thought, "Oh, this is what you mean by the collecting Transformers." She'll have a look around, and before we even sat down to have a chat, she spent at least half an hour or 45 minutes examining all the shelves, actually having a look. Which I was quite surprised. I thought she was just going to ignore it all, sit down, stick a movie on. But no, she just honestly just had a good old look.
I've got a similar story to that.
The first one she looked at and thought, "Oh, I like this one. Animated RC." She picked that one up and went, "Can you transform this for me?" And I was like, "Sure, pass it in." And about half an hour later, I actually dug the instructions out and gave them to her. And you see her with it sort of going I think it's yes. She was terrified that one little movement was going to break something. She treats them all so gently. It's like, "No, love, it's all right. You can add a little bit of pressure. I don't mind." But then she says, "You say that now, that's going to be the famous last words." And I went, "Yeah, of your life, if you do break that damn thing." So,
Have you ever had someone visit your home, a member of family or a friend or something, and they've looked at your collection and looked at one of your, say, masterpiece toys and gone, "I used to have one of those as a kid," and then you look at them and go, "No, you didn't."
No, you didn't.
No, you fucking didn't.
I haven't. No, I honestly haven't had that. When
I have.
You're not old enough.
With my family come over with, I don't see many of my cousins because, put it this way, my nan and granddad on the dad's side were randy bastards. They ended up having 10 kids.
Hi, mate.
And they all
1 second, gents.
They had kids. Kids had kids. And so on. So I've got at least 40 cousins. So trying to keep track of them all is a mission and a half. But
If they do come over and visit, do you lock your bedroom up, put guard dogs and laser beams and barbed wire at the side so they don't get in?
no, all my family are nice. They're all lovely. When obviously, when you go see family, you want to be on your best behaviour. That's how they. No, Marcus is like, no, what are you talking about, fool? No,
Who are you talking about, Willis?
When my family come over, they're all nice, polite, and when they come out into the room, they'll all have a look. But when it comes to some of the younger some of the younger kids, I'll sort of be a bit wary, but then like my mum will say like, "Oh, Matt's got a load of Transformers in his room," and I'm like, oh, "Shit, it's great. He's going to want to go." So like, go on in, let's go have a look then. So run upstairs, show them all, and if they for good thing is they know where it's like look but don't touch. So they won't touch them. They'll have a good look at them, and then they'll ask, "Oh, can I see that one?" I'll bring it down, show them what it does and stuff. But I'll say you can hold it if you want. They'll like hold it and just sort of like look around it a little bit, and then they'll just move the head, move the legs, and sort of like do a little bit of tail the butts, and run around the room with it, sort of thing.
At the moment when you start watching them like a hawk, thinking, "Oh, you dare break that!"
Definitely.
They're good though. They're not gonna just go like just drop it on the floor or something. I'll say like, no, sorry, just calm down a little bit. Like, just be careful. And I'm like, yeah, okay, don't worry. And they're fine. They're not. I've not had any of them like break anything. They're all very careful. They understand that these are still delicate pieces of material. So I did actually end up giving one of my old toys to one of my cousins. He saw. Because I brought down from the loft a couple of some of the older ones, and one of them was the Beast Machines Supreme Cheetor, which we all know is a horrendous piece of shit.
Yes.
I just sort of just had it there next to my bed, and he went, "Oh, what's that?" Oh, it's Cheetor.
What, do you want a computer?
Cheetor, and he's like, "And what's Cheetor?" And I thought, actually, no, he's only 6. Might not know about Beast Wars or Beast Machines. I think it's part beyond him. So I just showed him it and thought, "You want it?" And he was like, "Really?" And bearing in mind, this thing's almost the size of him because you know how big Supreme Cheetor is. And
Yeah, he's huge.
so he's like, "Oh, okay." So he's like, picked it up, gone downstairs. My uncle's there, like, "What are you doing with the toy?" No, you can't take it home with you. Well, Matt said you can take it home. He's like, looked at, as he said, you can take it home. Yep, he's fine. Yep. Oh, okay, you were telling the truth. He's thinking the kid's going like, yeah, he said it's all right. Then buggers off, runs off outside. Like, quick, Dad, get in the car before he notices. But, no.
Well, guys,
he's quite happy.
I hate to interrupt, but it's actually time for me to go.
Oh.
I appreciate you guys having me on. I'll definitely try to be a regular, guest on here whenever I can.
Oh, of course.
Have a good rest of the podcast, and till all are one.
Yeah, to all
All I want, my
Same
friend.
to you as well,
You
buddy.
take care, and it was a pleasure having you on here, sir.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Very much for joining
Thank you.
us.
Always good to chat to you, mate.
See you later.
So going back to what you said about Transformers and your partners or ex-partners and things like that, I remember the first time Katie actually came around to my little flat because I told her about my Transformers and she wanted to see MPO1, and I opened it because I kept them sealed at that time, and I opened it just so she could look at it.
Oh.
So
Got it out. She had a good look, and she married you.
yeah, she married me for my MPO1. I mean,
It's left in his box still.
You can ask her, Kate. Did you marry me for my Masterpiece Optimus Prime, the first one?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Woman's got taste.
A woman she does have taste.
Do you mind me collecting Transformers?
Do you mind me collecting eyeballs?
No.
No.
And you're happy with the fact that what I buy doesn't come out of my wages, aren't you? Because it
As
supports
long
the house.
as bills are paid, I don't care.
There you go, an adult point of view.
Wonderful. Absolutely.
Even when I was talking to my girlfriend about prospect of if and when it comes to the point where I want to move house, get my own place. I do believe that on my current income, if I still have the same job that I am at now, I won't be able to afford to pay for house bills and stuff like that and collect Transformers and other things at the same time. It will be almost impossible. And when I told my girlfriend this, she said that, well, if that's the case, we both need to get a better job because I don't want you to not collect these because I see how much they make you happy. And if you don't if you stop collecting them, she knows how much it's going to destroy me.
Did I point something out? I watched Iron Man 3 today, and something kept reoccurring in the whole of that movie.
It's a piece of shit.
Tony Stark says,
I liked it.
destroys all his armours, correct?
Yeah.
He destroys all his armours. And yet he states to the woman he loves, I am Iron Man. Isn't that very much what we are? Our collections are ourselves. Get rid of our collections. We still are Transformer fans. We still are the people we are.
Yeah.
The collections themselves just enhance who we are.
That is very true. I can get behind that. I've often thought about if I stopped collecting, I would still get involved in it in some way, shape, or form. Even if it's only little, I'd still want to get involved in it.
Well, I've said to every single person who said to me that do they have to leave Hands Steel because they've stopped collecting? I said no. I said you are welcome here for life.
Oh, that's quite.
But it's true though, isn't it? That it is very true. That
people stop collecting, but they don't stop thinking about what they'd like to collect in their mind. So they like to keep up to date with things.
A few people are members of HOS that are on severe limited funds, therefore they can't really get the stuff they want, but they still interact with all the rest of them, all the other members, and enjoy the news and stuff. It's something still for them to look forward to one day, that they may restart their collections.
Or they may pick up that odd piece which they think, I really want that, and they save and save and save to get it.
Don't you find that when you have to save really hard to get one special piece of toy, that when you get it, you appreciate it more, even if it is a bit shit at times? Have you ever come across that?
I can get behind that, yeah.
Up there. Katie says she likes the robot heroes.
They're not bad.
I can't remember what ones are the robot heroes. Which ones are those?
The little like G1 and little plastic models.
Oh,
They're like a static figure.
Oh, but they're in a pose, aren't they?
Measure what?
Oh, right, yeah, I just realised who they are.
Wienables.
Weenie comes.
She says they're a reminder of weenie cons.
Don't you say mini cons?
No, she said
That's what Rita's into. If it's a tiny Transformer, she loves the dinky, tiny little ones. Me, I like really big robots. The bigger, the better. I need a bigger house. Seriously, if I won the lottery, and this is no word of a lie, I would commission a friend to build me a to scale Devastator using real live vehicles. I genuinely would. I'd have that on my land.
I think you would actually need to get a good amount of the lottery win. I don't think it's just a national lottery win. I think you need the Euro Million win in order for that, in order to commission something like that. I think.
Either that or become best friends with Mr. Virgin himself, because he's quite loaded. Or
You
the
turn it
Queen.
into a house and live in it.
But could you imagine that? You're just driving up to your mate's drive and he's got one of those that greet you.
Just a
The
devastating.
doorbell plays the touch. That would be fucking amazing.
The ever important question I've got for everybody:
Go ahead, mate. What is it?
are you going to run out of space, and what are you going to do when you do?
I can answer this question to start off with. I actually did run out of space, and as a result, I had to sell all the figures, not just Transformers, but I sold all the figures that I didn't exactly want anymore, because there's a lot. All the ones I had in my room, I looked at and thought, I don't really want you anymore. Just for some reason, it sort of outgrew me. I just didn't really look at them and think, wasn't really that pleased with it anymore, I suppose. It's an odd way to put it. So I just, as you know, put them on Hoss sales and stuff like that just to get rid of it. And the amount of room I've had left over has been brilliant. So, I mean, I'm still collecting, obviously, but I'm not collecting nowhere near as much now.
But it's what you want, not.
You find that since you've had this culling, because I've been through it myself over the past couple of weeks, I've gone through my collection and thought, I'm past those now. I want something more higher quality. I'd rather have a few of something good than hundreds of something shit. So I've looked at my collection and I realise I just want what I want, which is quality items. I'd rather have, well, one Hercules than 500 Seacons. That's just an example. Or Voyager-sized Hasbro releases or something. I just like the good stuff. And I know that I'm eventually going to run out of room again. But when that stage comes, I'll just probably build a shed in the back garden.
So, did I tell you about my deal today?
Live in there.
Build a shed, yeah, why not? What was your deal, Roger?
I went to the shop across the road from me because Kate had noticed that they had some glass cabinets in.
Details.
Yeah, so I went across and I asked the Polish lady in there how much she wanted for one. So she said £40, and she said I've actually got another one there. So I looked and I said how much do you want for both? And she said 80. I said well how much to me because I'm like her neighbour across the road. And she went 70. Oh, I said when she said 70, I said 60. She went no, it's got to be 70. So I was like well if I give you a deposit, can I give you the rest tomorrow? And she was like yeah. So I got 2 Dettol's for 70 quid. And I was telling Katie that brand new they are 70 to 80 quid each.
No, they're £40 a detail fees.
Are they £40 each?
£40 each, but then consider this: they
travel.
don't deliver. IKEA don't deliver details to people's houses. So what you have to do is get in your car, go and collect them, and that costs petrol. So technically speaking, you got yourself a bargain.
Yep.
And she delivers for free, like I said. So I'm more than happy with that. So I've got 2 more Dettol's to come home. I don't know where I'm going to put them yet, but they'll go somewhere. They might actually go upstairs, and I might have a rearranging upstairs.
Very lucky you are. God, yeah. I don't have any details. All my, where I've got places to house them, I've got 3 shelves above my computer. Got 2 massive shelf units. Got one next to my bedroom door, and I've got one right next to the window. 2 massive shelves above my bed. 2 little shelves behind my door. And 2 biggest shelves above my TV. That's all I have for storing these figures.
I was the same as you. All I had was shelves before, Matt. And I showed Marcus my upstairs room.
It'll just help, because dust is a bloody pain in the ass.
You need cabinets. Once you've had cabinets, you realise that it saves a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of dusting, and your collection holds its pristineness for a lot longer. Protects them.
I'd love that, but my problem is if I said to myself I need to get details, I can only get 2 in my bedroom.
Well, I don't use details. I actually purchase my cabinets from Argos. They're bigger, and they can put more in them, and they look nicer. But I am going to be investing in a couple of details anyway. So I need more details to put stuff in cabinets. Desperately need cabinets. I think another 4. If I got 4 details or 2 big cabinets, I think that should be more than sufficient for my whole collection. I have 3 massive cabinets full of, well, Transformers, but I want a couple of cabinets with my other collections.
You nearly spoiled me there, Matt.
Branched out a bit on Macross, and I'd like a Hot Toys War Machine. But I really want one of them.
Right, you say that, right? The other day, I was just having a random search for some figures, and I came across ones from Bandai under their line called D Arts, which is an odd name for a line. But this is the ones that do the Pokemon and Digimon figures, and look at the Digimon characters, and some of these look absolutely phenomenal. Look absolutely beautiful, and I looked on eBay the other day. They only go for about 45-50 quid each. So I was like, oh, that's amazing. So I'm gonna have to get me some, even though with my money at the moment, I only want to go for certain purchases. But I know at one point I'm going to crack and end up getting these sodding things.
I've put you a website link
up. You know, there is a way that you could actually gain a little extra finance per month.
How's that?
that you can invest in these so-called wonderful figures.
How's
Give
that?
up bloody smoking, mate. You'll save a fortune.
Right. Okay. I get my tobacco off
Friend of a friend of a friend of a friend.
off a family member, and he does it to us, and he does it for us dirt cheap.
Tell that to your lungs.
Sorry.
So tell that to your lungs. I'm not getting on my soapbox on this, but the best thing I ever did was go onto these vapor things. They've really helped me give up smoking, and they're a lot cheaper, a hell of a lot cheaper. And the money that I'm saving from the tobacco I smoke, I can actually afford now to buy a couple of special figures as a treat.
It honestly doesn't.
It's always a bonus.
It honestly doesn't cost me that much. It only costs me £15 a month. That's how much my baccy costs me.
Is that like a 50 gram pack?
No, more than that.
The maximum you can get grams. So what you do, get several packs.
Several.
Old Virginia, drum, or amber leaf.
Amber leaf we get. It's
That's evil.
you get it for. It's not just it's not just for me. It's also for my mum as well. So just get all that.
I know that Roger was considering giving up smoking, or at least cutting down a little bit. That would benefit your collection if you did.
Yeah.
I
Idea.
would.
But
I would.
I told you, Marcus, I don't even spend what Matt's spending really.
What's that? Sorry.
So I don't even spend the amount you're spending on it. So
Oh no.
because Kate buys it,
Cheats.
and she kindly shared to me.
No. Then she,
So you know.
then she realises you're taking the piss and doesn't and charges you more.
No, because I pay a lot of the bills and she sorts out the shopping, so it works out quite fair actually.
Yeah, that's right.
Like what Kate said earlier, isn't it, really? As long as the bills are paid, you've got food in your fridge, etc., etc.
She doesn't
She's
Whatever
quite
money's left,
spend
you
your
can
money
do
on.
what you want with.
Yeah.
Want to buy plastic toys that you enjoy, or you want to buy smoking materials to smoke, it's your choice. If you want to go on holiday, you do that. It's life, mate. You've got to do some things in life to make life a bit more pleasurable. Because let's be honest, life is shit. It's just how you deal with it.
Yeah.
Lucky for me, I've got a warden.
Which makes all things perfect.
Effect, yes.
Yeah, perfect effect.
Bit of a name dropper there. Just out of curiosity, guys, over the past 12 months, we use the last 12 months, what would you say has been the best third party? I'm not saying the toy. I'm on about third party that brings out the best toys in the past 12 months.
Company. So that's not really. Well, the one that's only really brought out the most would be TFC and Fans Project, being in the form of a couple of the Fans Project headmasters and their take on Motormaster. But for TFC, it's Superion. For the other companies, it's maybe like one each. Like Fans Toys was Quake Wave, Perfect with Warden. Mucko Toys was Paladin Chaos. Then we got, actually now we do have Smash Talk and Cogwheel. Trying to think of some of the other companies. I know Dr. Wu does a decent.
Mech Ideas.
Mech Ideas,
Yeah,
Apex, Gemini.
I'm gonna say at the moment I think MMC are one of the best ones.
Yeah, I think MMC are definitely, how do I put this? Climbed up to a very tall building and pissed all over Fans Project.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think Fans Project really are staying at the bottom of that building at the moment. They need to do something very special to get their name back.
I think personally, I think Fans Project are just too much for what you buy him. Too much money.
To me, there's more like a minicon for a masterpiece price.
Yeah. I mean, if
Which-
you compare how much it costs for the Fans Project Stunticons, like as the cars, compared to the Mastermind Creations Bovis and Fortis, which was only like a £15 difference in price between them, and yet the Mastermind Creations Bovis and Fortis are pretty much double the size.
So you're saying they're Voyager size and the other one's like Scout size.
They're like Scout size. £50 for a Scout figure is an absolutely appalling price. I'm sorry.
Hence why I can't stand this Fans Project Menasor. I think it's a complete rip-off and it's complete fucking shit. Too many shortcuts and it don't look right.
Do
That's
you know
my
what?
own personal opinion.
If I had a Fans Project Motormaster, I would only have the front half of the truck transformed without the kibble, because it looks like Motormaster like that, but I wouldn't have any of the rest. It'd be the only one I'd have, and I'd only have them in robot mode.
The cars.
It looks like one of those lazy customs that people have done with a Unicron body and just sellotape some fucking cars to it. That's basically what they've done. Bit of blue tack, sticky back plastic, and a blue Peter badge, and Bob's your uncle. You got Menasor.
Yeah, I just don't think it came out the way they wanted it to.
No,
I think it was probably their best design on the drawing board, and they thought, right, let's go with this because it's the Stunticons, it's going to sell, and it did.
But there's another company, isn't it? Is it TFC or something that are doing the Stunticons as well?
Warbatron people.
Yeah, Botron War, that's the ones, yeah. They're doing
That's it,
Stunticons.
I personally think after seeing Blast Off, if they can keep that quality, I think they're going to kick ass.
Let's just hope they're not another TFC. Look what they did with Hercules, that was pretty amazing. Then Uranus came out, and, well, you all know my views on Uranus. I was very disappointed with that. Don't get me wrong, it was a nice toy, but I just can't justify owning one anymore.
I didn't like the look of it when I first started showing off pictures. As soon as I started seeing them, I thought there's nothing interesting here. Then when I showed you it all fully combined up, I was like, wow, what a horrendous piece of crap.
It doesn't look too bad if you take off all the accessories, wings, jetpacks at the back, etc., and extend it.
Shouldn't have to. That's the problem. That is the.
Do you like your combiners with everything as part of the vehicle? Like, I'll use Hercules as an example. With the vehicle modes, everything's in it. Even the hands, it's all in one. You can literally transform and it's there.
Even
There's
though
not
some
much
of it looks
parts
a bit-
forming to add on.
Some of it looks a bit odd with I can't remember which one it is. I think it's the excavator where you got it in vehicle form. Yeah, it looks cool. Also, you turn it around, it's got this massive fist hanging off its back.
We'll find that would be the what's his name? But the actual front bulldozer.
Front end loader. Yeah, that's it. Front end loader. That's the one. Sorry.
That's the one with the fist hanging off its back. Whereas Scavenger, the fist goes underneath and it actually sort of blends in.
Oh, that's right. I think the weirdest one, obviously, you've got Hercules. I have Giant. I've got the green one. The only when it's all in vehicle or in vehicle mode, you honestly can't really tell if there's robot kibble on them. I think
When you put them into robot mode, they're all different bloody sizes.
they all are.
I've owned a Giant.
Sizes. They are different sizes. Yeah, I do admit that one. Funnily enough, the biggest one is actually Mixmaster. Their take on Mixmaster is absolutely massive compared to all the rest. It looks
that's-
so huge.
And Long Haul actually looks like a giant bloody ape. It looks like he's ate all the donuts.
Yeah.
That's
No one's
not
going to
why you
argue
brought
with
him
him if
there,
he
Matt,
wants
is it?
anymore.
What's that? Sorry, Roger.
I said that's not why you brought him. You brought him because the way he looks in Devastator mode.
Stator, of course.
That's the way you like to think of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I still like more
Does
individual.
anybody actually buy a combiner and to have it, in individual robot mode or vehicle mode? They want it as one big guest hole, don't they?
I mean, with I displayed him in different forms before. I've got him out, turned him into individual robot mode, stuck them all there as a little group, got a little action shot pose of them all, and then maybe like a couple of months down the line, put them all in little vehicle forms. But I still prefer to keep it as Devastator mode. But I still think, as good as the Devastator mode is, there's still one thing that I find is a bit weird. When it comes to his right leg, which is I can't remember what his name is. It's the one with a bucket scoop. I can't remember what.
Scavenger?
I've probably
not the book.
Scrapper?
I know what you mean.
Scavenger?
Are you talking about where the leg is? You've got to put that engine piece to hold the back in.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't mind the engine bit. I thought the bit was weird because you've got like the scoop bits up the front of the foot, and then you got like the two wheels become like, well, the hubcaps for the wheels become like the two heels for that foot. Then you got in the middle, you have his robot mode head just literally sticking out on the floor and actually
walking on his own face.
Yeah, as you see, you can. Well, even if you turn it around, you think, "What's that?" And then you look round to the back, you think, "What's bloody head?" It just actually.
Same with their rendition of Hook. The head for the main robot is literally quite visible.
Yeah, it is. It is. They did do a decent effort to hide it. Like in truck, but in crane mode, you could see it a little bit. Then when you turn it into robot mode, where the Devastator head actually became the foot,
Yeah.
which was a bit odd. I'm not gonna lie, but it looked a bit odd when you compared both the feet. But I thought it was actually. You looked at it and thought, what the hell is that supposed to be? But you wouldn't think it's a Gestalt head. No. So I thought that was actually pretty cool. And then,
I'll agree with what Roger said, that, if you have a combiner, you will have it in Gestalt mode. It will be merged together as one big robot. But that's not the point. When you buy a transformer that is an amalgamation of many, you want them all to look good in every mode.
Yep. That is why. If it comes to anything that's a combiner, if, like, maybe example, it's 3 to combine, or 4 or 5, all of them have to at least meet the criteria of good robot mode, good alternate mode, and good Gestalt. Which is why the only combiner I have is Mafia Toys Giants, and soon Mastermind Creations Predaking.
Find that in Gestalt mode, a lot of these combiners are that big and chunky, there's no way you can put them in action poses. You just got to sort of stand there and then slowly their legs fall apart and do the splits.
Amazingly enough, my Giant's never done that. My Giant's never done the splits.
I'll agree, Giant's never done the splits.
As Hercules.
Hercules, he's very prone to wanting to do the splits. I'm totally convinced he's an athlete. But I'm looking forward to MMC's Feral Rex. Once it's combined, I want to see, with all that weight that's on it, can it hold certain action poses? Will the legs start to eventually split apart? Will the elbows not be able to hold up and they start to slide down? I'm looking forward to seeing how time will tell.
I hope it turns out alright when it comes to action poses, because I'd love to get him in a good action pose, to be honest. But I don't think, over time, none of my toys have ever sort of like begun to wear down from an action pose. Any action pose I've put them in, they've been fine and dandy. They've never sort of like got to a point where their arms are going to droop down or anything. But no, I'm hoping that, Mastermind Predaking will be just as on par as all the other ones that I have, because I don't want to get to the point where all of a sudden I'll get Predaking and sit him on the shelf and think, oh, I'll get him in this pose, and all of a sudden he does a splits and he headbutts the floor or something.
Question for you, Matt, since you're quite excited for MMC's Feral Rex.
Could you tell?
We all know that Predaking is 5 robots that turn into Predaking.
Yes.
MMC's is 6. There's a bonus one.
Right.
Will you be one of those people, like myself, that are going to get the 6th one because they want the set?
Right. Honestly, no. I saw the when I announced the sixth one, I was wondering what it was all about, and it said, it's just going to be a replacement for Dive Bomb or Talon, whichever one you want to call him, as a brand new left arm, and that the remainder of Talon would be merged into the backpack of the combined mode of Feral Rex / Predaking. So when I saw that, I thought, oh, right, okay, but what's depending on what the mold will be? Because I thought it was an interesting concept. They could, if you wanted to, swap left arms. And then they showed it was literally just Tigress / Rampage repainted. And I just went, oh.
And a Saber.
No. Mm. When I saw it's just a
repainted. But Bovis and Fortis are the same mould, just a few tweaks here and there in different colours. So doesn't it make sense that two arms are going to be pretty much the same as well?
Even if it's just different colours, I still wouldn't buy it. It's still a repaint to me. And you guys know that I'm really not hot on repaints unless it's something gorgeous like MP10B, which I'm which I really want to get, but sadly, just don't know if I want it yet and stuff. But I'm not a fan of repaints. A lot of the time, I don't think they're necessary. My main reason why I hate repaints is over time when you've been collecting Hasbro's toys, when all of a sudden they'll release a repaint, I look at Hasbro doing a repaint and I just say, stop being lazy, give us new molds. As soon as I see a repaint, I think, Hasbro, you're being lazy.
But did you think that was Springer and Sandstorm? Because I think they are sufficiently different enough to worth having one of each.
But Sandstorm isn't a repaint. He's like a 50% remold.
Old, yeah.
It's in work.
But it's still the same mechanism.
Even if it's still... bits are remolded. If, for example, when you say Fat Saber was like the Rampage repaint, but they edited it slightly with brand new moulding in certain areas, depending on how
they are doing,
then I would go for
it. Buy it.
Yeah, right, depending on how it would look. But if it's just a straight up repaint of just the same mould, just different colours, skip. I mean, it'd have to really bite me, like really go, ooh, come by me.
It's like, give me your wallet now, and you throw money at the screen.
Throwing cash all over the place. Yep, that's what I'd do. I'd be like drunk at a strip bar. I'd just walk up to this so-called repaint, just flick the cash all over it.
Oh, you ask her to open her legs and do a swipe with your credit card.
Oh, I have to be really drunk for that one.
But you have to have a credit card to start with.
I mean, to me, as I said, repaints not for me. But the only repaint I've ever looked at and thought that looks beautiful is MP10B. Or
what about the Rodimus repaint, the black Rodimus?
That did look nice. But
yeah, I'd still love one of them.
Rodimus Prime isn't the best figure. So that's
controversial question then.
Okay.
I have all the Masterpiece Seekers except for Sunstorm, the Hasbro Sunstorm, which I'm hoping will be released, or I'll get a Takara one. They're all basically repaints.
Right.
But I love them. I'm not a big repaint person myself, like yourself, but with them Seekers, I just can't get enough.
I think I might be able to answer this one for you. Because when it comes to repaints, normally it's just a random toy done in a toy of a character like for example, like
Classics Inferno, Classics Artfire, Classics Hotspot, Classics Hauler, and Classics.
That's one, I suppose you could say. Like that's one example, I suppose, or maybe even
Masterpiece, I suppose.
Latest generation stuff. Like you look at Bumblebee, and all of a sudden we got Nightbeat, which is just Bumblebee but in blue. You'd think, but it's just that's
Stealth Force Bumblebee, which was the black version.
But then for you, when you say it's Seekers, it's different because in the show the Seekers were just a band of Decepticons, and because they all look the same, essentially look the same.
but they are different characters.
Even that they were different characters. That is
Yes.
why. That is why you say that's why, in my opinion, as well as yours, they work. When
Yeah.
it comes to other repaints, it just very rarely does it work. I think Nemesis Prime and the Seekers are the only repaints that do work. Others, to me, they don't. So it's,
Prowl, Masterpiece Prowl, Masterpiece Streak, and Masterpiece Smokescreen. Slight retooling, remoulding,
are them.
and slight different colours, but they're exactly the same mould.
They're lovely. They're absolutely spot on.
I do admit, all three do look really nice. They do look really lovely. But for some reason, I looked at them and thought I can't see myself wanting to put the money to get all three of them. To me, it was like I only want one, and the only one that I thought looked good enough for me to buy it was Prowl. I thought Prowl looked the best of the three. That's why I got Prowl. And as
What about the Sideswipe posse? Now there's 5 of them, isn't there?
from let me think, you got Sideswipe, G2 Sideswipe, Red Alert. Am I right?
Tiger Track,
Tiger Tracks, yep. And is it KO Gold?
Gold Digger, I call it.
Oh, Gold Digger, yeah, yeah.
The old Gold Digger there.
5 of them bastards. I'm as you both know, I don't have a sideswipe mold. Hold on a minute. Start squeaking at me. What's that, sweep? No, I haven't got a. As you know, I don't have a sideswipe mold, but debating on getting one. But there is a rumor that Hasbro is doing a sideswipe. They're bringing it over like they've done before with Grimlock, Soundwave, Optimus, all that. If they do, then I may buy it, depending on.
And if they don't, and you'll find that those that are on the secondary market, the original Masterpiece, they might go up quite a lot of money.
Mm.
Then again, you've got knockoffs. And I'm not being rude to anybody, some of these knockoffs are pretty damn spot on. They are really high quality.
I mean, as you say, like, obviously they're good quality. I've not got any of these, but I hear from so many people that when the KO Sideswipe came out, like the first one, people were saying it's almost on par or better than the actual Takara Sideswipe, which to me was mind-boggling. I couldn't believe that this thing was just as good or better, but at a cheaper price.
Well, I'll have to admit, my Tiger Track is a KO. And I really can't tell much difference. Even the quality of the plastic's the same. I would not be surprised if literally they were made in the same factory and that certain items were removed from said factory to subsidise extra money in some people's pockets. You know what I mean?
True. I didn't even realise Tiger Tracks actually got KO'd, to be honest. I knew normal Sideswipe and then there was a gold one, but I never realised Tiger Tracks did.
Absolutely, so did Red Alert.
I'm just wondering who Tiger Tracks
And Sideswipe.
because I never really got the idea of that toy. I don't remember a Tiger Tracks character. I just thought I looked at it and thought it was Sunstreaker. Because
That's the point. It's not Tiger Tracks, it's Tiger Track. That's where I got it wrong. I thought for ages he's supposed to have a tiger emblem on the front, a few stripes, but totally different character.
Odd.
I'd like to know more details on that, actually. So I don't know much about it. I have to claim ignorance on that. I only know from little whispers that people have told me, little snippets of information.
I thought Tiger Track was Sunstreaker's name in Japan, because that to me looks like Sunstreaker, because it's, yellow.
No, if you look at a Sunstreaker, I've got a G1 Sunstreaker on my shelf, and when I look at that and I look at the yellow moulded Sideswipe, they're nothing alike at all.
Oh, it's Sunstreaker.
They'd have to do some serious remoulding to get that to look like that.
Oh no,
Believe me.
not just that, but I thought maybe they just did it as that character, just took the Sideswipe mold and just thought he'll be fine for Sunstreaker, and then
A couple of little add-ons, and I reckon you could get away with it, to be honest.
I mean, I do admit the G2 Sideswipe looks evil. It looks.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best ones. Them guns and that sword and that I've done a shit face. Oh, it's awesome.
And was it the Doctor Who kit with the ammo freaking belt and the leg strap? Good lord!
I want that, and I'm sure Roger may know somebody that can get that for me. Which obviously I want him to let that person know I want one.
That G2 side type looks so good. It actually, the way they made him look like he could win the war by himself. And when you look at the toy, you believe he can. That's how
One-handed while scratching his own exhaust pipe at the same time. Yeah, he could.
While snorting up energon, you name it.
Yes. He could probably win the whole Autobot Decepticon war across the multiverse while drinking in Swerve's bar at the same time and playing chess.
And opening the Matrix of Leadership. Back to next Prime.
And drinking the Matrix. He looks that hard, doesn't he? It looks like he literally craps nail bombs.
Well, he like opens up the Matrix, takes the old crystal inside, just puts it aside for a second, closes it back up, puts a drink, gives it a bit of a swirl.
And he takes the actual crystal energy out and puts it in like a gobstopper and starts chewing it. That's why he's got that face. He's like, yeah, I'll chew Decepticons for breakfast.
Oh,
he's the sort of person that would headbutt Megatron's fusion cannon while it's being blasted. And just stand there saying, you want some? Who's next?
Yeah, all we see is...
And without being racist, you'd expect him to have a Scottish accent. Because he's that hard.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah. Tell you what, if one day we get to the point where we think sod it, we'll do stop motion animation for shits and giggles, I know a Scotsman who would gladly just scream down a mic to be G2.
That sounds actually quite fun. See, at the moment we've got Roger who seems to be doing stop motion himself. He's stopped and he's not in motion because he's dozing up.
Hey?
I think he's fallen asleep.
Is there anybody there?
No, I was dreaming about Sideswipes actually, thinking how lovely that black colour scheme really is when you got one.
Yes. I've summoned you here for purchase.
Yes.
I want a green one.
Paint it.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll be arsed. They're a nightmare to take apart, the pins and stuff.
You lazy kid.
Lazy! I took apart fucking 4 Masterpiece Seekers to repaint. They're a nightmare.
Bloody hell. Sold that for a lot. Right, I don't know about you, but I think maybe we should end this one, I think.
Yeah, I think we should end this podcast. Are we going to end and then pop back and have a chat afterwards?
Yeah, why not? And then obviously we'll stay tuned for obviously there'll be more. Get out of the way, phone. There'll be more.
I hope anybody that's listening has actually quite enjoyed a few blokes talking about plastic toys. Because I tell you something, lads, I have.
We'd love to hear if anybody would actually like to volunteer to be on here.
That'd be a good idea. Yeah.
Yes.
You would.
Yes. Leave one of us a message if you can.
Yeah.
Leave some. But we don't accept pictures of naked men running around.
Yeah. Then...
So Jimmy Blanco, no.
No.
No ninja nakedness. Thank you.
But we'd love to hear from anybody. You know, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you do. Just get in touch and just say, I'd like to come on and have a chat. We'll have you on.
Yeah, just letting us know if you even listened is great. It would be great.